welcome to the United stand. It's Manchester United against Chelsea. It's a Super Sunday. It's a must-win game for Manchester United. There really is nowhere to hide because when you put it down like this, if these players don't turn up today, who are you to blame? Ten Hag is gone. Ruud is an interim. Amorim isn't even here yet. And that is why I think we'll see a performance, because I think when these players know that they're exposed, they'll turn up. When they've got an excuse, they're sponsored by Npower, Light Switch FC. But I think they'll turn up today because I think they know if they don't turn up today, then people will know what the issue is. And I think the issue is still the players, but I expect them to turn up today because that new manager bounce, or whatever you want to call it, will hopefully be prevalent. Barvon, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for tuning in. So what's your thoughts on the United side? I am reasonably happy with that. I've got to be honest. I think I've seen a few people sort of like saying they're not necessarily happy with it. I think it's an interesting United side, and look, first and foremost, I think we don't beat about the bush on here. I would be playing Ahmad. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. But I would be playing Ahmad for the simple reason that I think yet again, whoever's playing on the right, and there are rumours that it might not be Rashford on the right, it might be Rashford on the left and Garnacho on the right. But that to me just emphasises the bigger point here that I don't see why Kazagate, I like it. I don't really see why we're not. Look, for me, this is a bit. I was talking about this on That's Football. And people were saying, why is it you want Ahmad to play? And if you've got a good left back, but you've got two really good right backs, and you keep putting your right back at left back and benching your left back, why are you doing that? You're doing it because you're scared of dropping one of your good players, and so you would rather play them out of position. Ahmad's our best right winger. He gives balance to the attack. And we're putting him on the bench so that we can pick a player that we're scared to drop. And it's not just Rashford, it's Garnacho as well. Maybe Rashford will play on the left today and Garnacho plays on the right. Well, Garnacho should be on the bench. Ahmad should start, in my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm entitled to my opinion. And my opinion is I'd rather go for balance than playing people out of position. And also, it's not a wild guess to say that the left winger might not have a great game, so you can bring the other guy on from the bench. So I just don't agree with playing Rashford or Garnacho out of position to bench your best right winger. But it keeps happening. And you know what? There's a part of me that's quite comfortable with it still happening because this is not Erik Ten Hag. And you think about some of the name calling and abuse that Ten Hag got around Ahmad. Well, he's not here anymore. And it's still happening. So maybe there's a reason why it's happening. I am enjoying the watch along, says Aditya. Well, we're enjoying having your company. Thank you very much. Should do it standing so we don't get sat down. I will be standing up when the game kicks off, mate, but I've just been stood up for an hour, so watching the Villa game. Jay, welcome to Members Club. Who to blame? Thank you very much for your super chat. Hope you're well, Mark. Happy November, mate, says Jack. Thank you very much. Well, of course, I didn't do the watch along on Wednesday, as you well may know. I was struck down. And really not in a position to do it. So I didn't really, if I'm being completely honest, watch that game the way I would normally watch a game. And I certainly didn't watch it in the way I normally watch it with you lot. So this is, in a way, I'm quite happy about that, though, because I think the Leicester game, we went very strong. They went with their reserves. It's not Chelsea. And I don't think we learn a lot from the Leicester game anyway. Other than these players can start hitting the back of the net when the manager's been sacked. But can they maintain that today? Yes, I think they can. I still think the bounce will happen. I just don't really know where to go with this game. I'm very happy with the fact that he's playing Ugarte and Casemiro. I'm very happy with that. Eriksen's not fit anyway, but I would have played that midfield. But Chelsea are a good side, and regardless of new manager bounce or whatever you want to call it, Chelsea's still a good side. And that new manager bounce won't work if these players don't exceed for 90 minutes the levels that they have hit over the last few months. So we almost need an FA Cup final performance, which we're capable of. But I think Chelsea are a good side. And I watched Chelsea play at Anfield a couple of weeks ago, and they were very, very good. So I would say that Chelsea are arguably favourites coming into the game, apart from the fact we know the cliche of when a manager gets sacked, players respond. So Man United could win this 2 or 3-0. Chelsea could win it 2 or 3-0, or it could be a score draw. I don't really know how to read the game, other than I think the atmosphere will be fantastic, and I think it'll be very interesting to watch. Death Venom has just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Ben says that Ruud van Nistelrooy's team selection is better than Ten Hag's. Well, it's exactly the same, Ben. There's one difference, Agate. It's literally the same team that that Ten Hag would probably pick, apart from Agate. Although Eriksen's injured, so maybe he would have picked Agate today. I don't know. I don't know about that. But with regards to the bench for Manchester United, it's worth just mentioning that because it is very young, the bench for Manchester United today. You've got Fitzgerald, Fletcher, Fletcher. Let me just do it from the start. Binder, Amas, Evans, Lindelof, Fitzgerald, Fletcher, Ahmad, Wheatley and Xerxes. I'm looking at that bench and realistically, attacking-wise, Ahmad and Xerxes are the only experienced options there. Then you've got Wheatley, Fletcher, Fitzgerald, and then you're into defenders, aren't you, as well? So it's not a very strong bench for Manchester United when you look at Chelsea's bench, which has got the likes of Mudryk and Kunku, Enzo Fernandez, and somebody I completely forgot. But they've got a good bench, Chelsea. I'll tell you Chelsea's bench. Chelsea's lineup's been around the pages already, hasn't it? But where was it? Lineup for Chelsea and the bench as well. Okay, yeah. So Chelsea: Sanchez, Gusto, Fofana, Colwill, James, Casido, Lavia, Palmer, Madueke, Pedro, Neto, and then Jackson. And then their bench: Badiashile, Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, João Felix, Jorgensen, Mudryk, and Kunku. Tosin and Vega. So they've got lots and lots of options, Chelsea, on the bench. And I think if you've not seen a lot of Chelsea this season, one thing I would say about them is that... what the fuck's going on here? One thing I would say about Chelsea is that very mobile. They're a very mobile team. And that energetic energy is something that we've struggled against with Ten Hag. So Ruud's got to really get the energy levels up for United, because I think if you look at United and you look at the decline of Ten Hag that ultimately led to his sacking, you've got to look at the reasons for that. We're not looking to keep the guy anymore. He's gone. So if we're looking at the criticisms of Ten Hag, too much space in the midfield and not enough legs. Well, that Chelsea side's got a lot of legs in it. There's a lot of pace in that. I mean, there's no slow player in that team. Like Colwill, the back four, the midfield three, the attack. There's a lot of pace in that Chelsea side. Is there enough pace in that United side? And that's something we're going to have to deal with. They're not allowed to use Sancho, Shahin. I thought people knew that. Luke Shaw says, what excites you most about Amorim, Mark? I wouldn't say excitement is the word. Optimism, maybe. The style of play. The success he's had, the fact that it's long term. James Annett, very generous super chat, James. Thank you very much. Can our wingers beat their fullbacks, says Salim. Death Venom has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. The way Chelsea's bench looks is the way I think our bench will soon look. Building a team of strong, growing talent, Pogba for now, people for now, and the future, says Daniel Luciano. Thank you very much for that. What do you think Amorim will do differently at United compared to Ten Hag, says Declan? I hope he'll get rid of people. I said that last night. I hope he gets rid of people. Ahmad should start, drop Rashford and sub him on later if needed. Maybe one day we will get a manager with the pulp balls to drop him, says Kevin. Maybe not allowed to. Maybe it's in his contract. I don't know. Does Ahmad not just not put any effort in training for a reason to not get picked? Just baffled, really. But I'm predicting a 3-1 win, says Retro. Ruud wants to win, says Reefer. If Ahmad was an obvious best choice, he has picked him. I'm enjoying the watch along. Thank you very much. There we go. So Reefer saying that Ahmad doesn't get picked because he's actually not good enough. Man United has to win, otherwise my friends will bully me, says Claude. Well, we don't want any of that there, do we? Unlike the fraud Ten Hag, MRM will play his system, says Lod. I just love a bit of abuse, don't you? Love it. Oh, what an intelligent way to live. Please do subscribe, by the way. Very exciting news. We're only 7 subscribers away from 962,000. Now, I'm going to keep pushing this today because there is still an outside chance that we hit 2 million subscribers for Christmas. But we've got a motor, and you can play your part. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, just share the video onto your socials because new viewers, new subscribers, 2 million subscribers. So make sure you subscribe and share the video. Get involved with that. That's your little task for today. We're on that road to 2 million. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And don't forget, we're live every morning at 10 o'clock, every night at 8 o'clock. We've got the match reaction show straight after this where we'll have our interactive player ratings, and we've got the fan forum as well. So lots to get involved in, and another big day in Manchester United's recent history. Neville said, can Amorim turn Rashford into getting 25 goals a season? Rashford is 27, not a child, says Ass. Well, Gary Neville's never going to say anything negative about Marcus Rashford, is he? I'll leave it at that. I don't think he ever has. Don't think he ever will. Roy Keane has, but Gary Neville just seems incapable of doing that. I thought Evans would have started Martinez at left back, says Brody. It's a good point, Brody. I would have thought that under Eric Ten Hag, but not under Ruud, because I think Ruud wants to do something a little bit different. Nicholas says, I'd like to see Rashford on the left and Ahmad on the right, Garnacho off the bench at 65 minutes. Mate, I completely agree. I just think Rashford and Garnacho should be fighting it out on the left. I'd love Rashford to have a good game on the right, but I just don't... You know the thing about Rashford on the right? I don't think he's in the game much. I don't think he's actually in the game enough on the right-hand side either. When he's on the left, he gets loads of the ball. I think Bruno's going to be a key player today if he carries over the confidence he got from finally getting off the mark against Leicester, says Andre. Well, I think this is the intriguing thing for me. You look at that Manchester United side, and a win today, by the way, wouldn't put us into the top 10. That's impossible now. After the results of the weekend, we can't even get into... We're still going to be scroll down FC. 14 points for Manchester United if we win. So we're still in the bottom half of the table. Even if we win. That's why, for me, if we don't win today, look, we're on 11 points. We'll go up to 11th in 14. So if we don't win today, we may as well just forget top 4. It's gone, or top 5, because even a win doesn't put us into the top half of the table. It's so competitive in that league at the moment. So we've got to win. A draw's not good enough. I know for Ruud, he could probably sit there and go, a draw's a good result for me, and it would be a good result for Ruud, but it's not a good result for us. Rashford is never in the game anyway, says Luke. If Amorim knows what's good for him, the deadwood must go, says Fred Lose. What decisions will go against us today, says Tom Hartley. You know what, Tom? VAR seems to have got its act together this weekend because it's not actually been that bad. I'm not aware of any bad decisions. So 2 more games to go, and hopefully it doesn't happen in ours. But Andre the Beard talking about Bruno Fernandes. Look, I'd tell Amorim for this for free. You can't trust this squad. It's inconsistent. But what we should absolutely be expecting today is the reaction to Ten Hag being sacked as a motivator for these players to not take the blame. I think we will see good performances from United. I think the passes will make the passes. I think the shots will be on target. I think the effort will be there for 90 minutes. It's wrong. It's very wrong that suddenly they'll be able to pass and shoot and run, but they know there's nowhere to hide. No, if we lose this game 4-0, no one's going to blame Ruud van Nistelrooy because they'll go, he's an interim. He's a placeholder. They'll be looking at the players and going, you're not good enough. And the players won't like that. They'll be like, shit, we're exposed here. So I expect big performances from players today. I'd be stunned if it didn't happen. And that's the big advantage because we need the 3 points. One player from each of the current Big Six teams, says Luca. Yeah, we're not on That's Football, mate. You can jog on with that sort of stuff. Sorry, not got time for any of that, I'm afraid. If Amorim knows what's good for him, the dead must go. I want to see Obi Martin play, says Malkari. Haaland, Saka, Salah, Palmer. Who's in the top 6? You see, I don't even know what the current top 6 is. That's it, Lukey. You're getting that, and that's it. I'm very nervous, says Come Travel. I'm not actually nervous about this, you know. Because I think, in many ways, what you got to be nervous about, I get the fact that any hope of climbing up the league is dependent on winning today, but Amarim's not here yet. We've still got the Europa League. I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I'd say I'm demanding. I'm demanding a good performance from Manchester United today. We are used to getting pumped. It's time, says Stephen. Is it... Mark, I think... Sorry, the chat's way too quick. I need to slow this down. Sorry. Always forget this to do on a watch along. It's a killer for the mods, and it's always my fault. The chat is moving way too quick. Way too quick. So let me just knock this down a bit. There we go. Joseph Young's given us a super chat, and it says, Mark, I think still now people don't realise how detrimental it is to not have players in the position like left back at this level. Erik Ten Hag had to go, but how much is the consistency owed to lack of players in crucial positions? Yes, I agree on that, Joseph. And also, thank you very much for the super chat. But did you see what Sir Jim Ratcliffe said? Now, I don't know when he said it. I don't know whether it's from today or whatever, but he's in sunny climes wherever he said it. And basically was asked this question. It's there. It's a video interview. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe was basically asked about the America's Cup, which is a boat race that he's just lost to the New Zealand, but they came second with Sir Ben Ainsley and the Ineos boat. And he's basically been asked about, you know, what's the difference between that and Manchester United? And he said, well, with the boat, we've built a team capable of winning that race. We just haven't won it, but we were capable of winning it right to the end. With Manchester United, basically, we haven't got the squad to do it. And if you haven't got the squad to do it, you can't win. And I hope he meant exactly how I took that and many other people took that the squad's not good enough. Because if that squad's not good enough, all the Player FC fuckers can go forth and prosper. Because nobody will ever say who the players are that aren't good enough. Because it's an individual thing. But if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is looking at it and going, that squad's not good enough, then I bloody hope he is looking at getting rid of some players. Now, I don't care who that is. Maybe he thinks different players to us aren't good enough. But if anybody out there, what baffles me is people out there don't like it when you say that player's got to go because they've got pictures of them on the wall, or that player because they've got pictures of them on the wall. Somebody's got to go. If the squad's not good enough, then 4 or 5 players have got to go. And you mention players and they'll go, oh, no, you just hate them. You've got an agenda. Like some of these players have got to go. It might not be the same 5 you're thinking of or Sir Jim's thinking of, but they're not good enough. The squad's not good enough and it needs fucking major renovation. And I loved it that Sir Jim Ratcliffe said it. I just hope that we do something about it. Cheers from America, Mark, says Hook and Buddy. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your super chat there. My buddy on Why watch you every day. Can you call Leo a prat, says Forever MUFC. You're a prat, Leo, apparently. Darian, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for getting your badge in. Cyber Turkey has got a badge as well. I just saw that whiz by. Thanks for joining the Members Club, getting your badge in the chat. Do you think United might cancel international duties to give the team time with the coach, says John? I'll tell you what, John. That's a great idea. I mean, if I was... welcome to the Members Club, Raf. Thank you very much. If I was a Man United player, I would seriously be thinking about international duty and thinking, you know what? Some of these players are going to get ahead of me. You know, Casemiro, Marcus Rashford, they're not going to be called up for England, are they? So they'll be getting ahead of me. Spending time with the manager, you know, bringing him an apple to work. So maybe you might want to skip it. Ahmad, more like I'm bad, says Choppin. Okay, Player FC. Darian, thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate that. Raf, welcome to the Members Club. Big up yourself, Mark. It's been a nearly 5 years as a member, says Man United Hodge. Mate, you're an absolute legend. Thank you very much for your support. Eugene says, a Delit cut early on in the head is what's needed, says Eugene. And James H says, I bet $50 on Evans scoring a hat-trick. I'm going to be rich. Somebody tell him. Sam says, what do you think the chances are that Casemiro will put in a good performance? I have to be very careful about Casemiro because even when he plays total shite, he has a fan base in this fan base. I really like Casemiro. I really, really do. But the chances of him putting in a flawless performance today, I don't know. I don't know, because was he purposely playing badly for Ten Hag because he was fucking awful? I tell you what, if Casemiro is man of the match today, I think you've got to seriously study the last 6 months and say how much of that was he couldn't be arsed. Because the goal he scored on Wednesday was world class. But some of the mistakes he's made over the last 6 months are terrible. I mean, I even described it as sabotage at the end of last season. So, look, maybe we will get a world-class Casemiro today. I don't want to say we won't get one, because if it happens, I look like right Pratt, don't I? So maybe we will get it. Maybe we will. Nick P says, excited about the game. The thought that a new manager is coming, there's no chance of an Ollie Part 2 with Rude is reassuring as well. Thank you, Nick P. BK, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. What other teams play similar system to Amrim? I'm just curious to see which teams we'd be poaching from at the transfer window. Yeah, but United AV, I think you're a bit literal there. Milford says United. I mean, I don't really agree with you on that, United AV, because what you're basically saying is we need to buy players who can play in a 3-4-3. But we don't. Players can adapt. 2 centre-backs can be 3 centre-backs. Wingers can be wing-backs. Pivot's a pivot. 2 players in behind a striker can be 1 player. I don't think we need to look at other teams that are playing a 3-4-3 and exclusively buy from there. Some footballers actually are intelligent and have a high IQ and can adapt. So I'm very much looking forward to doing the watch along on Tuesday, though, because Sporting Lisbon are playing Man City. And I know a lot of people have been watching Sporting play shit teams like Friday night. I don't think you learn anything from that. I think learning how his system works against Pep Guardiola will be a very interesting watch on Tuesday. No, Mark, not same here. He will play 8. Agate is a 6, says Sheriff. No, he'll be playing as a pivot today, mate. There ain't no way Casemiro's playing as a box-to-box against Chelsea. He will be sat next to Agate for most of that game. I think you should make a show where members can call in and voice their opinions, because sometimes chats don't show the emotions, says Jerry. Thank you very much. And do you think winning the EPL in 2028 is realistic, says Pow. I'm on the fence. No. Owen Cash, welcome to... Thank you very much for being a member for 2 months. That 2028 thing from Omar Barada is absolutely wild. It's 2025 for this season. So this season's winner is 25. Next season is 26. The season after that is 27. And then we're winning it in 28. At the moment, that looks wild, because in 27, we'll be sacking Amorim. And that's what I would say. We're winning the league in 2028, but we sack our manager every 2 or 3 years. So what's more likely? We win the league in 28 or we sack Amorim in 27? And at the moment, nobody can tell me, and I can't tell you what's more likely. I think we've just got to focus on the next day. As I said last night, it might not be a bad idea to have a bad first year under Amorim, where we make some big decisions and have to work our way back. Because every manager at Man United since Sir Alex has had a good first year, bar David Moyes, and then they've been gone in year 3. So maybe this time we make some big decisions in the first few months, we weather the storm and we get better. Just the same as Arteta did, just the same as Klopp did. Klopp had a lot of bad results in his first 6 months. And then he built something. Arteta had a lot of bad results in his first 6 months, and then he built something. Maybe we need to start that way. By the way, Mark, why did you stop the player ranking show? Oh, I don't know, Joseph. It's time, really. Nick P says there might be... I think I grew out of it. I actually, you know why I stopped doing the player ranking show? Because they were so shit every week. I just didn't think they deserved a top 10. Chat restrictions make it impossible to comment anything respectful or anything of substance. Is this a YouTube thing? Says Tom Bowler. And Andre Gomez says, I believe the reason Ineos paid extra for Amorim to be on the 11th was because we are absolutely forcing our players, or at least telling most of them, that they ought to stay on the international break, says Andre Gomez. Well, we'll see how many pull out, because it'll be too obvious if everybody does it. Nick P says, there might be players in our squad that you all think are a lost cause because that turn inspired by the new manager. I think the most intriguing part. Sorry, I need to read that again. There might be players in our squad that you all think are a lost cause that turn inspired by the new manager. I think that's the most intriguing part. Well, I think you're absolutely spot on, Nick. I think that's the worrying thing. There are players that we would like to see sold who will suddenly start trying because they want to stay. But will they be able to sustain that beyond 6 months? And that's what Amorim needs to be careful about, because I think there are certain players that will turn it on for the new manager, but in 6 months, when they've got comfortable, they'll down tools again because they're not capable of it. That's what worries me. How much do you think we can spend in January? Says Nicholas. I don't know, but hopefully he will be able to. It's a new manager, isn't it? New manager should be allowed money. I know it's a bit weird to think that we might spend money in January, but when you think about it, it's a new manager, so he should. Wasn't Anthony a left wing back for Ajax? Maybe he could be good. Okay. And what's happened with Collier? He's injured. Jeremiah. I think Casemiro needs a good midfield around him, says Fuge. Thank you very much for that as well. Sir Jim is actually at the game here today, shaking hands with Dan Ashworth. Is the new European competition just another step towards a Super League? I know we have no option, but I don't trust our ownership, says Tom Kent. We're not even in the bloody Champions League, so why would we wouldn't be in it? I'd be embarrassed if Man United got put in a Super League at the moment because we can't even get in a bloody Champions League. Pre-Cole Palmer hat-trick, ready for a Bruno 2 out of 10. I'm very excited about this, Zyro. United's issue is a lack of elite athleticism. I've sort of spoken about that, Tony. Obviously, the cliche is the game will be won and lost in the midfield, but I've already spoken about this. Chelsea are a very athletic side. I don't think we are. So we're going to have to do a lot of running today. Chris Slater says, I'm really excited about Amorim. The difference to Ten Hag is the structure above, which is the first time we've had it in place. Let's hope it fixes the issues. I believe the reason Ineos paid extra for Amorim... sorry, we've just seen Marcus Rashford hugging Cole Palmer in the tunnel. I think a few people are getting pissed off about that. I'm old school. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I don't see the point in it. I like Gary Neville refusing to, shake the hands of Peter Schmeichel when he was a Man City goalkeeper who'd won a treble with. But these days, they're all at it. Hi, Mark. Went down to WH Smith. They didn't have your book, unfortunately. Where else are you selling it? Amazon. Get it on Amazon. Are you going to the Club World Cup? Says who to blame? No. Nobody is. Who would you agree? Danny says, would you agree with my opinion that Gyökeres is a glimpse of what Rasmus could be? Yes, Danny, I do. Substitutes worry me the most, says Grimlock. Aside from Ahmad, I can't see anyone on the bench bringing the spark. And that's a great point from Grimlock as well, because when you talk about energy, where are we going to renew the energy from the bench? So very good point there. Thanks for your super chats. Do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. Time to go vertical. The match is about to start here. We're going vertical. That's the back of the Christmas jumper, by the way. Just in case you wondered what it was. They're running out, those Christmas jumpers. If you want to get one, get it delivered worldwide. Okay, right. Let's get ready to rock here. We're about, 3 minutes away from kickoff? Can we do it today? Let's hope we can. We need 3 points. Remember, as I said, 3 points for United wouldn't even take us into the top half of the table, which is scary when you think about it, considering where just how far away we are from where we need to be at the moment. But look, dreams can come true. We could get in the top half by Christmas. But we have to win today. I mean, if that's not a demonstration of needing to win today, I don't know what is. We won't even be in the top half of the table if we win today, which is scary to think. So let's hope that we can. Sorry. Okay, let's put that there. Okay, we're about ready to start here. If I can get that there and that there. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, lovely stuff. Sorry, let me get back into here. So get your score predictions in. I'm going to go with a draw. I just hope we win. Chippy Chips FC getting cooked today, says Marcus Hooks. What's Chippy Chips? I don't even know what Chippy Chips is. So Jim came here to watch Chelsea as he's a Chelsea season ticket holder, says Abhijit. Kick back and enjoy the game. Cheers, lads. Thank you very much for that. That's, oh, God. Things are playing up with me, for me today. My mouse broke before the game, so I'm having to use the mouse pad, which I absolutely hate. Did Chelsea have a fan channel? I'm not taking the piss, but you used to have one years ago with Lewis and Louis, but I don't know whether they bother anymore. Alex Goldberg, yeah. Rashford talking to Palmer. He's a snake, says Jacob. Finally found someone skilled enough to run my pizzeria solo after years of making pizzas while watching United with you guys. I can finally kick back and enjoy the game, says BK. Lovely stuff. I think what Ruud van Nistelrooy has chosen is possibly our strongest team right now. Whether we turn up tonight or not, we need to have a win to have a chance to finish in the top 4, says Slow Sports News. Absolutely agree with that. So Jim Ratcliffe's comments in the squad hopefully reflects with hierarchy too, and we're able to clear out the deadwood quicker and back the manager properly, says Stream Matrix. Just got here, predictions, Mark, says Sebastian. I think I've just given mine 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2, but obviously I hope we win. But you know what? I don't feel bad going for 2-2 because I think Chelsea are a very good side and it could be very difficult for us today. About to start off. Would you rather sign Gyökeres or Osimhen in the summer? Seems like everyone forgot about Osimhen. I'd go for the guy that the manager wants, mate. Simple as that. Rashford playing off the left. Garnacho playing off the right. Why? Why? Why has he done that? You know what? I honestly would say if I was Ahmad, I'd be fucking fuming because I'd be like, okay, you've been playing Rashford there and Garnacho there and I'm not in the team. You've now put Garnacho on the right and I'm still not in the team. So it's a big up yours to Ahmad, really, because you're thinking, all right, he's picking Rashford ahead of me. And then he moves Rashford to the left and puts Garnacho there. It's weird. Unless you think Ahmad's not good enough. In which case, it makes total sense, I suppose. But let's see how it goes. Cole Palmer clears it away. What's your favourite vegetable? Says Hulls. I do like broccoli. I love the fact Amran chose us over City. City was obviously the easier option, but he's not afraid of the graft and the chat. Well, he might have been managing City in the National League as well. Let's not forget. That was from Ian Carlton. Right. Anyway. Good play by Rashford. And a good tackle. Lovely play by Mazraoui into Bruno. Here's Rasmus. Good start by United. That intensity is there as you would expect. Calm it down. Slow it down. Casey says, let's smash them. Thanks for subscribing, Shazia. Yeah, click and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're on that road to 2 million, and we were only 7 away from 962,000. What did you think about the Spurs-Villa result? That was from a TikTok person who whizzed by. I think Villa just fell apart in the second half. 1-0 up at half-time. Yeah, I think they just fell apart in the second half, really. Some silly defending, playing out from the back. But Mazraoui's getting into this game a lot at the moment. Terrible ball by Agate there. Don't know what he's trying to do. Garnacho wasn't very happy about it. Cole Palmer looking to get Neto in behind Delo. Delo too quick. Anana with the big kick. Another bad ball by Agate. Fucking hell. Sort your passing out, mate. Please, let's get the win, says Sergio. Needs to settle down, Agate, here. And that's a cross from Gusto. Rashford's got to go with Gusto. He's got to go. Both fullbacks have got to go with their fullbacks because they will get forward. That's too easy to just run beyond Mazraoui there. And that's with the keeper. What do you think about Barcola, says Dot? I don't really. Let's get the win, says Sergio. Thank you. Gabe Welch says, if Cole Palmer's not in the Europa Conference squad, will he get a medal? Yeah, that's a question I don't really care about. If anyone knows the answer, let him know in the chat. Of course, to be fair to Rude, you are sort of playing on vibes, really. He's probably only had 3 training sessions. So you're really playing on efforts and nicely in by Agate, but second ball won by Chelsea. Mazraoui's had a very good start. Why did United pick Amorim over me, Mark, says Gareth Southgate? That's another positive about Amorim. Not having to be in fear of the unthinkable. And hopefully it was always unthinkable, but I know that there was talk about him back in March. But good to see United on the front foot, though, because I watched Chelsea at Anfield and they were the more progressive team. Liverpool looked to counter them. So the fact that United have started on the front foot is good. Maybe Chelsea with Maresca have just said first 20 minutes, let's just see what they're all about. That's too easy for Gusto to play that out there. I mean, there's nobody near Lavia. That's too easy to play through, is there? Here's Neto. Cole Palmer crosses over hit. That'll go for a throw-in. I don't like that there. Gusto's really on his own touchline, plays across his own goal into Lavia. Lavia turns. He's got so much space. I don't know what people are doing there. Daniel Appleton, thank you very much for your super chat. Cold as Palmer, says Cole Palmer hat-trick. Energy is going to be very important. We spoke about the athleticism of Chelsea. We've spoken about the bench of Chelsea. I think they become a very dangerous team because they've got a strong bench, and I think they're more athletic than Man United. So United need to take the game to Chelsea, and you know, I think unless we can get a 2-goal lead, you'd always fancy Chelsea to be able to come back into it if they go behind. Nice by Bruno, looking after the ball. Foul on Rasmus. Will the players be nervous with Amorim watching? No. Casemiro looked like he was running through treacle. Big concerns about him playing with Chelsea's pace on the break, says Andrew O'Brien. Started well, says Musty. I don't like Garnacho on the right. I don't think he likes it on the right. I don't understand why he's playing on the right. You solve one problem and you create another. Yes, Rashford's better on the left, but so is Garnacho. He doesn't look in the game at all already, does he? Same as when you put Rashford out there. Looks cold in Manchester, says Even. Well, watch out for Palmer. I'd say that they'll be looking to utilise... there's a few people moaning about the Casemiro and Bruno Hollywood pass. The diagonal to Rashford, isn't it? That's what they're probably looking at. A bit more pace in behind Gusto. I mean, they're trying to... Chelsea as well are looking at Neto in behind Delo. Portuguese connection there. They'll know each other from international duty. Terrible ball by Casemiro. Casido picks it up. Into Cole Palmer, into the box. Good block by De Ligt. Corner to Chelsea. That's just a lazy ball by Casemiro, and that just shows you how quick and energetic that Chelsea midfield is. Look, there it is. Casido's onto it. Drives forward. And it's good defending by De Ligt because Cole Palmer's bearing down on the 6-yard box there. If Arne Slot wins the Premier League first season, thoughts as Bruce? Well, I'll be mortified. It's Liverpool, isn't it? Corner to Chelsea. Pretty good on corners, aren't they? That's going over the bar. That'll be a goal kick. What's going on in the F1? I am interested in the F1. Ocon is in winning position at the moment. I thought Max Verstappen started in 17th place. No, forget that. That's boring. Not interested in the F1 anymore. Max Verstappen is basically Erling Haaland. Have a stretch, Mark. I'm stood up, Brian. Slow with the passing. They're in position very quick, says SK. Nice into Garnacho. He's got a bit of space, and it's a bad pass. And that's a bad pass by Casido. And that's a good tackle by Casemiro, but you've got to get up. That's a foul. Very stop-start at the moment. Oh, Rashford's left Gusto again. But good interception by Mazraoui. Garnacho, Rashford should be free. Although Casido's on him very quickly. Well done, Mazraoui. I think Mazraoui's had a very good start. I really do. That's ball over the top, looking for Rashford. He ain't got the pace there, has he? Gusto easily. Easily caught up with him there. Yeah, I've been very impressed with Mazraoui. Just standing out like a sore thumb. Just looks like our best energetic player in the first few minutes. Which is what Shajiba's just said in the chat. Don't care if he likes it or not. Put eye on Garnacho's body language already. Passing with no care. I don't think he wants to be on the right wing, mate. And I don't think Rashford wants to be on the right wing either. I think it's a waste of time putting players out of position. I'm a Rashford hater, says Constantine. Well, I don't think you should hate. Every time he touches the ball, I wince. I don't trust him. Why do we not sell his superstar status? He can say he has United in his heart all he wants. I don't agree. That's from Constantine with a super chat. Just wanted to say your content's elite, says Bruce. Thanks for support. Bruno's trying silly balls again, says Michael Clegg. Realistically, what position do you think we'll finish, says Ethan? I think until the new manager comes in, it's very difficult to say, but I think you can read the warning signs when even a win today wouldn't put us in the top half of the table. So there's a lot of work to be done, really. Hi Mark, Sanchez or Onana? I feel they both have a mistake in them, but I personally prefer Onana, says Jack. Good question, really. I mean, I've never really thought about it. I think similar. I think they're both very similar, actually. I described them, but well, when he was at Brighton, I always thought Sanchez was a progressive goalkeeper, and obviously that's what you're. Lavia, lovely play by Lavia there. A lot of space in that midfield. I told you Casemiro would sit next to Ugarte. He's done it all fucking game so far. Nice ball into Gusto. We keep letting Gusto go. Who's tracking him back? All the time. 3 times already, he's gone past Madueke unmarked. Yeah, Garnacho does not look happy on the right wing, does he? Oh my God! Side netting from Chelsea. Free header on the front post for Fofana. I think Onana thought they'd scored. Colwell's gone down injured. Front post. That would have been a foul, surely, on Casemiro. He got a right shove in the back. Yeah, that would have been a foul. There's no way that would have been a goal. Madueke with the header. That's a foul. That's a foul on Casemiro. That's why he got a free header. Ain't no way that would have been given. You can't do that. Literally pushes him out of the way. Reckon Victor will follow and thoughts on him, says Bruce. I'm bored. I've got to be honest, Bruce. I'm bored of the Gyökeres conversation because it won't happen till the summer and I can't put up with 6 months of Gyökeres to Man United when we haven't even got... we haven't even started the journey yet. United 85 says, whole back four have started well, very organised. Meta Andy says, so far we're proving we never played badly on purpose. Garner not making the run on that Bruno ball is not okay, says Cherry Bar. But this is the problem that happens, isn't it? Like, I'd be pretty confident that he's probably wondering why he's not playing on the left wing. And then you put him on the right wing and... You know, whether it's bad attitude or not, I just don't know why you'd do it. I'd just put Ahmad out there. Ahmad wants to play there, and he's our best right winger. If you want to put Rashford on the wing for a tactical reason or you think he's better, I ain't got a problem with it. Just put Garnacho on the bench. But a lot of managers just don't want to do that. They don't want to bench good players. They'd rather play them out of position. Here's Rashford down the left-hand side. Wins a corner. I reckon Victor will follow. And I've done that one from Bruce as well. Today's a tryout. Hopefully the players are up for it, says Ali. To be fair to Rashford here, he's done well to win a corner. I mean, he's not done anything really other than run 40 yards with the ball. But there's no pass, and he's doubled up on. So he's done well to win a corner there. Because he's got no options at all. United feel very static, says Patrick. Serious lack of movement. It's exactly what I predicted would be a problem today, that Chelsea are way more athletic than United, and it's gonna take a shift. It's gonna take a lot of work. Oh, we're in here. Go on, whip it, Bruno, quick. Quick cross. No, too slow. Here we go. Look, Chelsea's passing is so smooth and they're so fast then. Mazraoui, good covering. So 16 minutes gone, 0-0. I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think we're going to get that 3 or 4-0 United. I think we can still win it, but I don't think we're... I think we're already giving up too much to Chelsea. There we go. He's ran off Agate there, Neto. Ten Hag out, says Edvard. It's a very Ten Hag performance, actually, this. You know, a couple of minutes of potential and then the opposition just settle in at Old Trafford. And I said this last night, we've got to make Old Trafford intimidating. It is intimidating. It's 75,000 people. It's an old school football ground. And yet so many teams just turn up and start... They're not intimidated. They're empowered. And that's on the players as well. You know, they've got to get the tempo up. They've got to get the... they've got to move the ball quicker. Like Chelsea have already had 4 or 5 passing plays of possession more than we have because we don't want to do it. I mean, how many times are we going to talk about the quick transition? Football fans are not impressed by, oh, I tried a Hollywood ball. Oh, the ball's back with Chelsea. They're moving the ball around. Lovely here. Lovely play by Chelsea. They're onto our back four again with Cole Palmer. Neto. Across the back post. Well done, Martinez. I'll go for a goal kick. We need to get some bloody possession here. Because that's what Chelsea are doing. They're just building momentum through possession. They're in again there. I don't know what happened there. Fucking, who's doing the camera work here? Who's the twat on fucking production? Man United trying to play out from the back. That's a horrible ball. Horrible ball by Onana. I'm not blaming Casemiro there. What is he thinking about? What's for dinner tonight? I've already had it, mate, Melissa. I'll have a snack later, but I had chicken and bacon pie and some veg. Lovely, lovely, lovely dinner. Sack the cameraman, says Corey JT. Yeah. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Another hero ball by Casemiro, but it works. It's into Bruno. That needs to go into Rasmus. Good punch away by Sanchez. That was better. That was better. Palmer looks so dangerous, says Wall World Padlock. Thank you very much. But even that was from a long ball, wasn't it? Thanks for the follow, Stevio on TikTok. You're a legend, mate. Celtic says you're behind by 2 minutes. I don't know how I'm behind by 2 minutes, mate. I'm watching it on Sky. We're just about to hit 20 minutes. Alexander, Elias, Nate, Simpa, Callum, Jackie, Niall, Matt. Thanks very much for your follows. Ten Hag outers are thinking, oh my God, what have we done? That's not my words, by the way. That's the words of Zach Payne. I don't think they are, Zach. I don't think they are. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying before Chelsea nearly scored, I think the limitations of the Leicester result have come into sharp focus very, very quickly, haven't they? We're not just going to roll up against the good Chelsea side and dominate them with, you know, loads of possession and shots. That's not. It's going to be, we can win this game, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. Mazraoui again doing hard work down that left-hand side. Mazraoui's having a bloody great game. Oh, good play by Rashford on the left-hand side. There's a player gone down in the box. Rasmus has gone down in the box here. Caught one in the face. Lovely play by Mazraoui. Gets it into Rashford in a dangerous position. He actually gets to go at gusto with some lovely skill. The cross wasn't great from Rashford, to be honest, but we're not going to get anything for that. If that's against us, if that's Michael Oliver, that's a penalty. That's a penalty, isn't it? If Michael Oliver would give a penalty if that was against us, but no, won't end with it. Anyway, it goes for a corner. I'd like to see that chance from Bruno there. Can we find Pelong ball? We try or something, says SK. And DX says, can you say hello to Deontay and Cody? Hello to Deontay and Cody. I think Rashford went into the tunnel, didn't? Not into the. He went down the. No, he's all right. He's all right. I mean, that's a FIFA penalty, isn't it, on Rashford? That's late as well. Never going to get them, are we? But I actually think that's late on Rashford as well. That's wild. That's wild on Rashford. Better from United, though. Better that we can create problems. Watch out. Here we go. Chelsea. Madueke down the right-hand side. good. Mazraoui's having a fucking worldie. I'm not joking. Forward and back. He's playing absolutely incredible. Here's Rasmus down the left-hand side. Oh, Rashford into Garnacho. Oh, straight at the keeper on his left foot. I think Rashford could have took that, you know. He dummied it for Garnacho. Fair play. But I think he could have took that. Agate, good tackle. Turnover. Oh, Rasmus loses it. And then he gives the foul up. Yeah, watch this back. So Rasmus down the wing. Rasmus down the wing. Watch when he cuts this back. I think Rashford could have took this into his stride. Oh, he could have done, you know. He could have gone right foot, left foot. You can't criticise him because he's played the dummy for Garnacho, but he might have took that in his stride. I mean, the Garnacho shot's absolutely nothing on that. Can we find... thank you very much to that. It's from SK. Cameraman shit, says Greg. It's not a bad 5 minutes for Man United, that. Hopefully we can build on it. Thanks for the follow, Kevin. So what have we had? 24 minutes. Gusto again. Oh, no. Oh, God. Lovely. Lovely. Got away with it. Got away with it. Thought they were going to score there. Ball over the top. Gusto down the middle. Knocks it over the head of Agate. And then I think Martinez gets something on that. It's a tense game at the moment. You feel like the first goal is going to be so important. Oh, go on. Oh, unlucky Rasmus there. I tell you what, there is the opportunity is there in the press on their midfield. There is an opportunity there. That's probably our best chance, is to try and pounce on a Chelsea mistake playing out from the back. Get Bruno out the club. He's got no idea how to press, says Mitcha. He's running like a chicken. Did Garnacho just ask for a position change, says Chiri. No one else noticed Højlund's neck scratch marks. Says, I know what? I actually think it was a bad tackle on Rashford. That's from Jake, by the way. Sounds just like a game of tennis at the moment, says John. Mark, if you're over the Gyökeres talk show, people, his stats for a 25-year-old up until a month before Amram signed was pathetic, says Gareth. I love Rashford but for what he does with kids, says Owen, and how good of a person he is, but I don't see him starting for the highest level United side. I think he's done all right. He's done all right so far. I mean, look, here we go. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Casemiro into Garnacho. I think he's offside. For fuck's sake, that pass has got to go sooner, Rasmus. That pass has got to go sooner. Garnacho's right. That pass has got to go sooner. Look, it's on now. Now. Too late. Too late. Anthony would score that Garnacho shot, says World Padlock. He wouldn't. He'd be too busy spinning. I haven't had a beer in a week. Should I have one, says Oliver. I'm having a beer tonight. One way or another. That's not... People are blaming Garnacho for that. Look, I'm a massive Rasmus fan and I'm a massive Garnacho fan, but that's on Rasmus. He's held on to that pass for too long. That pass was on for about a second before and it's got to go. At that level, you've got to play it. Imagine that position, Ahmad in that position on the left, says Cole. Good play by Rasmus there. Needs some help. That's a foul. Mate, that's a foul. Linesman's absolutely fucking useless. How's that not a foul? I think we've got an opportunity here. I think the last 7 minutes, we've been the better side. Chelsea have really struggled to get through our midfield. So, thanks everyone for your super chats, by the way. I think I've caught up with those. If you want to do them, $, we'll read them out. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Another heavy touch by Jackson. Here we go with Rasmus. Garnacho's on the left now. That's a foul. That's a yellow card. Mate, get your fucking flag out. Get your card out. Who's this knobhead? He's that big muscle man, isn't he? He's fucking too interested in gym. The gym. I don't know what he does in his private life. Muscle man, the referee. That's a foul. Doesn't get the ball at all. It's from behind. Doesn't get the ball at all. And it's Nicholas fucking Jackson doing the tackle. He's hardly bloody Kante, is he? Knobhead ref. This ref is a prat, says Sean. Yes. When will Garnacho get the number 7, says Hello Houston, Texas. Thanks very much for your super chat, mate. Well, he won't get it while Mount's there, will he? They won't want to hurt his feelings. Appleton Finn thinks Dewsbury's trim is mega, says Daniel Appleton. We've got Chelsea on the ropes a little bit here. They've not done anything going forward for a while, and we need to make sure we take advantage of it. Gusto. Well done. Mazraoui's been brilliant. So good. Stig says, I don't feel like Garnacho and Rasmus have got any chemistry. Well, Garnacho's gone to the left wing. So they've swapped them around already. Mark, let's say Amorim was our manager when Ineos came in. Don't you think they would have gone for Ten Hag if he was at Ajax as weekend getaway? We'll never know until we get Amorim how good he's going to be. It's your boy. Thanks for the follow. But hopefully he's going to be good. But look, there's every chance that we might be back here in 2.5 years sacking a manager again. When I see this ref, I know we're never going to get a call, says Noah. Defensively, we've looked good. Been brilliant, Mazraoui. Easily the best player on the pitch for us. Thanks for the follow, Adam, on TikTok. Appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We were only 10 away from 962,000. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. On the road to 2 million. Get involved with the United stand. Don't forget you can do player ratings in the second half. Another good interception by De Ligt. Casemiro moves it quickly. Bruno goes wide to Garnacho. Got caught late. He's going back for a card here. He should have played on. Why is the ref not played on there? This ref is a moron. He's not even booked him. What an idiot. Doesn't let us play on, then doesn't book him. I thought you meant to get the advantage. Knobhead. Do you think Garnacho is on the right because of Palmer and Rashford not tracking back, and Garnacho does track back, so Delo and Garnacho can double team Palmer, says Eshan? Maybe. 58 Go says red tinted glasses, he got the ball. I think you're talking about a tackle from ages ago, mate. We got to move on. Hoyland's too skinny, says Rich. Rasmus having a poor game, says Corey. Thank you very much for your super chats there. I don't feel like Bruno's been in the game much, to be honest. Again. Bruno's the most one-dimensional creative forward, says Tyler. It's amazing how Tyler could never have known I said that before he typed it. But, Mark, did you see that pathetic attempt by Casemiro to run back? He's a disgrace, says Marcus S. He ain't got the legs, man. He ain't got the legs. Ain't got the bloody legs. Like a fish out of water tracking back. Another corner for Chelsea here. Cole Palmer. That's a weird cross to the back post. But it's an easy... Oh, and Arna's dropped it and he's got it again. Well done. Well done. Unknown says, can you give him a footballer to edit? I'm gonna give someone out there, Kulusevski. He's really hip at the moment. So if you did an edit of him and said one of the best midfielders in the Prem at the moment, you'll get creative mind, you see. Man United have made a mistake by not bringing Mourinho back to the club. Mourinho has unfinished business with the club, says Kyle. Well, get him a copy of fucking Football Manager. I don't want him back at the club. Well done, Delit, bringing it out from the back. What's that by Rashford? See, as soon as the player goes to the right wing, they struggle. I don't get why Rashford and Garnacho have to go on the right wing. Like, neither of them want to be there. Neither of them really do a hell of a lot there. Just give it to Ahmad. Just give it to Giggsy till the end of the season. Both Rashford and Garnacho look a lot happier on the left. Look, here's Garnacho now getting on the ball. Just looks a lot more confident. Oh, terrible ball by Agate. This could be problems. They've got overlaps everywhere. Gary Neville and Roy Keane are on the pitch. There's so many overlaps. Good block by De Ligt. De Ligt's having a good game as well. But they're still here, Chelsea. Still coming. Yeah, well, I think De Ligt and Mazraoui have been really good. Attack's not been great. Agate's had a slow start. Look, I never won't be honest. I think Agate will be a good player. I mean, look, there's a terrible ball. We've got to do something with this, Agate. He drives forward. Rasmus. Oh, what a save by Sanchez. And I think he's given a foul on the edge of the box anyway. That was a good run by Agate. That's one thing he will do. He does drive into space if it's there. And he draws the foul from Gusto. I mean, Rasmus got a good shot off, to be fair. That's what I mean about Rasmus. If you give him a chance, he always forces a good save. If that had gone in, he wouldn't have given the goal. He'd blown the whistle. If that had gone in, the referee didn't play advantage. Fucking knobhead. Do you see that angle there? If Rasmus had scored, he wouldn't have given it. Which is crazy. What about an advantage? Can you shout out my girlfriend, Angel? She thinks you're funny, says William. Thank you very much, Angel. That's from William Jolly. Thank you very much. This type of officiating would make a hell of a hockey match, says Dakota. And Carrie says, hi, Mark. If both of them better off the left, why don't they interchange and try to confuse opponents? Because then you don't get into a rhythm. You can't keep changing all the time. S. Blooms, welcome to Members Club. Man United have made a mistake by not bringing... I've done that Mourinho one, haven't I? So we've got a really good free kick position here. Still 10 minutes to go to half-time. Mark, is it true Chelsea haven't won a game at Old Trafford since 1905? No, that's not true. Did I miss them? I did miss the Madison free kick, Musty, yeah. Philip says, honestly looking superb defensively. De Ligt or Mazraoui, man of the match so far. Amarim needs to do some offensive tweaks and buy some depth, and we're golden, says Philippe. Our right wing is extremely wasteful when Ahmad isn't on, says Ernest. Right, this is a free kick right on the edge of the box. Bruno obviously scored one on Wednesday, but it looks like Rashford's going to smash the shit out of this. Now, it's a long time since we've seen a Rashford free kick go in, but he did score a worldie against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge many, many moons ago. So do you go for power or do you go for placement here? It's hard to say. I think you go for power. I think you go for power. No. We didn't go for power. We went for Bruno, and he hit the wall. Garnacho with a good cross. Keeper gets there with his feet. Rashford with the cross. Straight at the keeper. I think we should have... I think Rashford should hit that. Because if you hit it low, all right, it might hit a leg. But it might hit a leg and go in, or it might find its way through. I don't think... Look, even the free kick he scored against Leicester was lucky because it hit the wall. It's very difficult to get the ball up and over from there. Cap says, Garnacho and Rashford care more about their own goal scoring than creating for someone else. Bad for their superstar branding to be on the right, says Cap. Should have got Onana ahead of Agate, same price, says Tony. Robert Jones is a weapon. Sort yourself out, says Thomas. That's the referee, isn't it? Can you ask Ronan McNamara what birdie will be bring to the pre-debs if Palmer doesn't score, says Oscar. What do we need to do for Rashford to move on, says Trader NJ. Thank you very much for your super chats. I think we've caught up there. But Ten Hag made them look bad. These players can't string a few balls together, and it's not Ten Hag's fault, says Angelo. Johnny Bravo can't ref, says Cryptic. 5 minutes to go to half time. Samora says, does it make any sense on any level to keep Rashford? If he scores you 25 goals in a season, it makes a lot of sense. I said that at the start of the season. Doesn't matter what you think about him. If he scores goals, goals win games. That's the key. Here's Madueke for Chelsea. Good defensive setup, though. Delit's there with Jackson. If that goes wide to Neto, we're in trouble here. Lavia refuses it. Nice ball, and that'll go for a goal kick. The defensive shape of Manchester United has actually been very good. I know some people would disagree with that, but the defensive shape has been decent. I think we're losing the midfield battle. I'll tell you what, that Chelsea penalty claim they're trying to push on the TV here, it's a very, I mean, what, as about, how are they even, what is Sky even playing at trying to get a penalty for Chelsea there? What are they talking about? Are they not looking at before that where Casemiro gets shoved in the back? Fucking hell. I mean, that is a producer who needs sacking. Looking for a penalty for that. Jog on, mate. Wasn't a penalty anyway, and also Casemiro gets fouled right before it. Couldn't catch first half. How's it going, says D? Probably not a bad first half to miss. It's not been terrible by United, but it's not been a great half. You could mistake it for a Ten Hag performance, to be honest. But I think defensively we've done well. Anana's passing has been horrendous so far, says Jake. Last 15 minutes, we've needed a number 10 who can keep hold of the ball, says Hock. Well, we've needed that for a while. Mike says, we're looking for too many Hollywood passes. Giving the ball away so often will always cause problems. Enjoying the watch-along, says Mike. Yeah, but it's interesting, isn't it? Because if you're Ruben Amorim, this has got absolutely nothing to do with the way that you want to play. Like... oh, brilliant. What a first touch by Cole Palmer there. He's just left Rashford and Casemiro for dead. And Agate gets the yellow. Watch this for a touch. See you later. 2. That's going to get played back on Twitter, TikTok and Insta for years. Look at what he does here. Bye-bye Casemiro. Bye-bye Rashford. Fucking hell. Agate booked. It looks like he's going to cry. Yeah, just going back to what Mike JBA was saying. If you're Ruben Amorim watching this Man United side, there's nothing for you. It's like going to a bloody vegetarian buffet and you want a burger. Like, there's nothing for him in this performance that he can go, ooh, that's going to work for me. Getting the ball and looking for a Hollywood pass is not Amorim. So the way we're playing today, there's nothing for him here. He doesn't learn anything from here. If he was taking over Chelsea, bit different, but there's nothing here. Good clearance by Erasmus. The problem with this game as well is the amount of energy Man United are expending in that midfield. There is no one to come on in the midfield. Like, Agate's on a yellow card. Casemiro's on his last legs. And Chelsea have got people like Enzo Fernandez on the bench. So it could get very difficult in the second half, legs-wise. But ultimately, it's like I said in the preview, the only way we're going to win this game is if we get this incredible manager bounce. Brilliant play by Mazraoui again. Yeah, because we're not good enough. We're not good enough. Matthew says, do you think Amorim has got a cooling off period in his contract? I don't know, mate. Ray says, Bruno and his long ball's getting boring. I think we need to sell this year. He just needs to change the way he wants to change the way he plays. How thick do you think Amorim's notes are by now, says Julian Lee? Well, I think the positive thing for Amorim is that he'd look at it and go, I'm starting from the bottom, and everybody knows I'm starting from the bottom. If he walked into a team that beat Chelsea 4-0, Leicester 4-0, and, you know, was playing brilliantly under Ruud, then there's a little bit more pressure on you, isn't there? Neto. Oh, Deleu's going in the book for that. No, he's not. Yes, he is. You know what pisses me off about this referee, though, is that Chelsea have made 2 or 3 tackles very similar to this and not had any yellow cards. Oh, they have. Gusto, sorry. Shut up, Goldbridge, you twat. I mean, that's a stonewall yellow card, that. How thick... okay, thank you. Thank you. Do you think Amorim is inheriting a better situation than Ten Hag walked into? Yes, DePino. He's got a better squad. Confidence-wise, whether it's a better situation, you could argue that. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. This might be one of the last kicks of the half, actually. Chelsea got a chance to whip a free kick in. I'm not surprised by this from Man United. I'm really not. I hoped the fake bounce might help us, but the reality has come home to roost quicker than we might have hoped. They're just actually not that good as players. Well, it's not even that they're not that good as players. They're not that. They're not a team, are they? They don't play as a team. The press is chaotic. The passing is erratic. I think the one positive for me is that defensively, especially Mazraoui, Martinez and De Ligt have looked very good. Right, here's Garnacho. Up against Gusto. 3 players around him. Where's the support? Finds Mazraoui. Into Bruno. Goes for Casemiro. Back post. Rashford! Never looked confident, did he? Laces, mate. Put your laces through it. Why is he placing that? It's a lack of confidence. I mean, this is where you've got to... It's got so much space. He's onside. Laces. I mean, to be fair, he hits the bar. He hits the bar. It's not far off, but it was actually closer than I thought. I'll give some credit there. I thought. Could have done with that going in. Half time, anyway. Let's stop the clock there. Manchester United are level at half time. Let's not forget they're level at half time. Let's have a look at the stats as well. What were your thoughts on that half, everybody? Give me your comments on that. United are obviously not losing. So let's not over-egg the pudding. It's not like Chelsea have missed any major chances. 4 shots for us, 6 for them, 53% possession for them, 47 for us. Both had 1 shot on target. They've had 4 corners. Their pass accuracy is better. You know what annoys me a little bit about that is that I feel that Chelsea have looked after the ball much better than us, and actually it's a very equal game. So if we'd looked after the ball better, logically, we'd be more dominant in the game. And I think about the amount of times we've gone for that Hollywood ball again, or the hero ball, or whatever you want to call it, or the Hail Mary. If we just looked after the ball better, statistically, it's not that bad. You could argue Mazraoui's the best player on the pitch. I think De Ligt's played really, really well as well. The standout players are definitely the defenders for both teams. At times Ugarte and Casemiro have worried me, but it's 0-0. I think the front 3 could have worked a little bit better as well. I'd agree that Garnacho, Rasmus, Ugarte, even Rashford, and certainly Bruno haven't had their best games. So I'd look at it and go, it's 0-0. There's a lot of you who can do a lot better, but it's 0-0. Let's see what we can do in the second half. But look, overarching, I will say this. It matters not whether Erik ten Hag is the manager of this team or not. It matters not whether Amorim is the manager of this team or not. They sacked Ten Hag last Sunday. It's not even been a week since he's been sacked. And we're watching very similar problems again. And you can't put that on Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's just an interim. But yet again, you're seeing the same players do the same things that annoy you. I don't need to go through every single player, but let's talk about Bruno Fernandes. What is Bruno doing again today? Ten Hag got sacked last week. This is a day for you to show everybody that maybe you were being misused. Maybe your bad performances were because of Ten Hag. But then again, we watch it, and Bruno's not the only one. They're all doing the same thing again. Everybody is doing the same thing, whether it's shooting from distance, not hitting the target, misplacing a pass, going for a hero ball, leaving space in the midfield, pressing erratically. I actually think the scariest thing for me about that first half, because there's not a lot to be scared about, it's 0-0, we're not losing. But the scariest thing I would say is that when you watch that half, if you'd gone on holiday after the West Ham game and not took your phone, and then you'd landed back now, and you didn't know that we had Amorim or Ten Hag had been sacked, you'd watch that first half and go, Ten Hag's still in charge. That was a very Man United Ten Hag performance. Or was it a very Man United performance because that's what these players are? That's just what they are. Well, whoever the manager is, that's what they are. They are inconsistent. They are unable to keep hold of possession. And I think when you're at home, and we did better in the last 20 minutes, but the first 20 minutes, when you're at home to Chelsea, how's about keeping the fucking ball? Like the amount of times we're looking for the Hollywood pass, then Chelsea get the ball and they're just settling into the game, passing the ball about. Now, we were better in the last 20 minutes, but the first 20 minutes, I just think, why is nobody saying, let's just keep hold of the ball a bit? Let's build the play up a little bit. But it's always looking for the quick ball, the Hollywood ball. We've been doing this since Ollie. There ain't no way Amorim's going to want that. So the sooner he comes in, the better, because I'm tired of seeing United in possession looking for that one-hit wonder pass. And we need to build the possession. We need to be more patient with the ball. I think United's biggest problem, regardless of whether it's Ollie, Mourinho, Rangnick or Ten Hag, is we never look like a community as a team. We never look like a team that knows each other. Even Mazraoui down that left-hand side, it's an individual performance. There's no connection with anybody. Nobody seems to be in sync. Casemiro, Bruno, Ugarte look like strangers. The front 3 look like strangers. Bruno's supply to the front 3 looks like strangers. Nobody seems to know where anyone's going to be. And nobody ever seems to know where a pass is going to be. And I've listened to Paul Scholes before, and he said, look, I'd hate to play in that Man United team because when I was playing, I didn't even need to look up to know where I needed to hit the ball. And in that United side, you look at, I saw Garnacho and Rashford running down the left wing on 2 separate occasions. They've got 3 Chelsea players near them, and there's no pass. And I'm like, we don't play as a community, and that's something that's very exciting about Amorim, because he's very much about the team and he's very much about the community, and he is literally going to be starting from ground zero, because there are no patterns, there is no synergy, there's no community in that team, and you can take Ten Hag out, you can bring him back, but it's very, very similar, whether it's Ruud, whether it's Rangnick, whether it's Ollie, whether it's Ten Hag. We just don't have that community feel. We don't have that togetherness. And we play like strangers so often. I mean, I can't believe they're showing this Martinez challenge on looking for a penalty. Idiots. This is what we have to pay for in our country. Idiots. Trying to find a soft penalty for Chelsea when Casemiro's literally been shoved in the back. Jog on with your shit coverage. Mark, you reckon they could give Ruud a chance, says Tay. Don't know what you're talking about. I don't see how much more Amorim gets out of these lots, says Legendary Baldy. If Rashford retired at Man United, would you consider him a legend, says Kartik? No. I wouldn't consider Bruno a legend either. I mean, legendary status is for people who win multiple titles, mate. Casemiro's head, Premier League, Casemiro's legs, Premier in. You know when you read something and you don't know what's coming, Spin? Bloody hell. I'm curious to see how a 3-4-3 will work with this shaky defence. Something needs to change in the back, surely, says Constantine. I think the defence looks all right, mate. It's one of the positives. The bounce looks to wane already so soon, says D1. Mate, but you can't judge the bounce on Leicester reserves. Was it a bounce, really? Garnacho has been terrible and needs to be sub, says Noah. Rashi disappeared when moved to the right. Rashi left. Ahmed right. Simple. Stop square pegs and round holes. Noah, I think this is a great point. I think a lot of people are talking about it in the chat. Garnacho on the right looked out of the game. Put him back on the left, looks a bit happier. Rashford started on the left, looks happier. You put him on the right, he's out of the game. What's going on? What's Ruud thinking? What was Ten Hag thinking? Every time you put Garnacho or Rashford on the right, they look like they don't want to be there. Ahmad is a right winger. Why are we putting square pegs in round holes? What? You just put one of them on the bench. I don't even care who it is. They don't work on the right wing. Neither of them work on the right wing. SK says, I think the long balls are because the midfield know we don't move and reposition fast enough, so end up with gaps. Then the long ball gets executed, says SK. Faris says, no wonder Eric Ten Hag put Mazraoui as the 10. The guy is reliable. Keep Mazraoui and sell the lot of them, says Eden. Bruno is crap. Get him out the club. Ahmad on, says Michia. Do you think Amorim is inheriting a better set? I've done that one from Defino as well. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. Do that through the $sign. We'll read your thoughts out. Sujoy says, Graham Potter is the pundit tonight in the Indian broadcast. Fucking hell. Lucky you. Casemiro can't move and Agate can't pass. Let's just talk about the midfield. We've spoken about the attack. We've spoken about Bruno. I think the defence has been okay. Decent. I think De Ligt's made a couple of good interceptions. I think Mazraoui's been our best player. Midfield, Agate's struggling. He's having to do a lot of running. Bruno's not helping him. Casemiro doesn't have the legs. But where I would be critical of Agate is his passing's been poor in this game. I think with Agate, we know he's going to be a big part of Amorim's plan. So, and he's a new player. It's the same as Xerxes. But you've got to be honest, he hasn't played that well, apart from the drive for the free kick. I thought the free kick was a shambles, by the way. Why is Bruno calling rank on that? It's right on the edge of the penalty box. You're not going to get it up and down. The free kick you scored on Wednesday was lucky because you hit the wall. You're going to hit the wall from that distance. Just let Rashford smash the shit out of it. Like, I'd be fuming if I was Rashford in that situation. Like, it was just hit it. Just hit the fucking shot. Go for that. FIFA Crazy says, recruitment on Eriksen and Casemiro's replacements are make or break. We need the right profiles. One should be able to pass like Eriksen, but be physical and defensive. The other needs to be quick and tenacious. Great point, FIFA Crazy. And I really hope that we go for Ederson from Atalanta. It's becoming increasingly difficult every week he plays for Atalanta because he's doing very, very well. But we've got to get some more legs. What worries me about the second half is we're going to be very lucky to get 2-0 ahead in this game. And I think even if we score first, you can see how tired Agate is and he's on a yellow. You know how slow Casemiro is. There is nobody on the bench. they could bring Enzo on if they needed to. They've got a very good bench and a very young squad, and they're already more energetic than us. I worry about us in the last 20 minutes because even if we were winning 1-0, I'd worry about us. I think I said it at the start, and I'll say it to you again at half-time. The energy of Chelsea and the bench of Chelsea worry me compared to what we've got. And let's not forget, Agate's having to make last-ditch tackles because he's the only one with the legs to track back, and he's on a yellow card. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Agate red. And I'm worried about what Chelsea might do to us in the last 20 minutes. If we were 2-0 up, I'd be confident, but we're not even 1-0 up at the moment. I think Amorim will be phoning in sick on the 12th, says Gavin. Højlund needs to be quicker with his passes, says Sig. Look, the front four haven't played well. You could argue that Rashford's plays the best out of the four, and I wouldn't give Rashford any higher than a 6. So I think the front four for me, Bruno, Garnacho, Rasmus, 5 out of 10 so far. Anana, 6. Delo, 5. Martinez, 6. De Ligt, 7. Mazraoui, an 8. I've been that impressed with him. Agate, 5. Casemiro, 5.5. Yeah, and I've done the front. Yeah, you know, it's not... And that's what I'm looking at that, and I'm giving scores like that, and I'm thinking, look, it's 0-0. We could still get something out of this game. Mark, with Agate, don't you think that's why Ten Hag was benching him to protect him? Like you always say, there is a lot of pressure. Mate, look, Ten Hag's gone weekend getaway. We really shouldn't be talking about Ten Hag getting things right because he's gone. But you might have hit on something there. Let's hope Amorim can bring the best out of Agate. You know what? I think Agate needs another Agate next to him or a Mainu. A lot of people like Casemiro, but he ain't got the legs. So if you haven't got the legs, it's a lot of work for the other person. We saw it with Mainu and Eriksen. Easy fix is sub Ahmad on for Agate. Less red card. Ahmad and Bruno in midfield will get balling. Nicola, have you ever heard about how you need to play in the midfield defensively? I mean, since when has Ahmad been the reincarnation of Roy Keane? Do you think we'll play and communicate like a team with our academy players like Ahmad, Mainu, Garnacho because they've played together longer, says Joffin. Something's got to change something there. Something's got to change. People complaining, but we have no one other than Casemiro or Agate, so I hope it works, says Shaheen. Yeah, we've got nothing in the midfield. Nothing else in the midfield. Casemiro just gives the ball away in bad spots, says Smoke. Mazraoui isn't a left-back, but still our best player, says Rekan. The only change I see is from Ten Hag era is the team trying to get the ball to Rasmus and Garner quicker, says QT. Recruitment, and I've done that one from FIFA Crazy. Why are you not criticising Agate's passing? Francis, if you give me time. If Man United loses today, should fans be worried? Why? We haven't got a new manager. The new manager is the new era, mate. I wonder if Ruud will make a tactical change, says River. Man of the half so far, says Flash13. Definitely Mazraoui. We should play 3-5-2 with flying wing-backs, says Cayman. Hopefully Amorim can get these players to believe in his philosophy because, to be honest, they look like players that have never played ball before, says Anthony. I think this is a great point. And it's exactly what I spoke about at the start of the start of half-time. There is no community, there is no synergy, and there hasn't been for years. They play like strangers, so they obviously don't like each other. Robert says, Ten Hag outers were so naive thinking a new manager would bench Bruno, Rashford and play Ahmad. Thank you very much for that. And Defino says, one of the positives of Amorim is he could coach out the issues with Bruno. And D1 says, we're still a counter-attacking team since 2019 and we still can't play from the back despite pretending we can. Mazza was a right back. He looks better on the left than Delo on the right back, says Ankit. We'll never progress with Rashford and Bruno, says Mario. Novan Nistelrooy was asking for the players to be more direct. He was throwing his hands to De Ligt when he didn't play forward, says Sahak. Højlund is never getting service in this team, says Puri. Rashford taking Garnacho place, which removes Ahmad, says Tashi. Thank you very much. Well, will Delo be left out of a 3-4-3, says Nexo. How do I think the next manager will do, says Crow? Well, I think he's starting from the bottom. In some ways, you know, I wasn't going to say this so soon. I was going to say it in the match reaction, but I'll say it now and then I'll say it in the match reaction as well. If you are Amorim, obviously you want to win because it helps you and your chances of getting into the top 4. But there's not really a lose situation Because if the team loses this game and is still shit, he comes in from rock bottom, doesn't he? And as a manager, the only way is up. Armchair Sportsman says the bench looks very sad. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. We'll read those out as they come in. We're about to start the second half now, and Cole Palmer does start it off. The whole first half, all we did is play against the ref. Says Dean, come on, we're not using referees. We're not using referees as an excuse. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way. I think we have hit 962,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. On that road to 2 million. We've got to push hard for it, though. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And if you have, share the video. Get some newbies on to subscribe as we approach 2 million subscribers on the United Stand. Remember, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. We've got the match reaction after this, then the fan forum from the studio in Manchester. Obviously, Beth and Ricky are actually at the game. So it's always interesting because when I was at the game against Brentford, I really didn't agree with them on a couple of things. But you see different things in a game. That's what makes football so great. But I tell you what, if somebody's going to topple Mazraoui as man of the match, they're going to have a bloody good second half. Can you please read my super chat, Marlo? Could you just tell me what it was? It's a football match, mate, and there's been loads of them, so I'm not spending 5 minutes trying to find it. I haven't got a mouse today, so just tell me what it was. I can see our players enjoying it under Ruben, says Matthew Fox. I can't even scan up now. No, it's not even bloody working. That's so fucking frustrating. Oh, okay, got it now. All right, I might be able to scan up. I love this community and your inspiration, Mark. Thank you. And all of the United Stand for all your continued hard work. Big up from US, says Owen. Thank you very much. The whole first half, okay. Our bench looks so sad. Will Delay, what do you think the managers do? Glenn Patrick, welcome to Members Club. Can you say, hi, Mike has the best pizza reviews, sir, and say it with passion, says Mike. Mike has the best pizza reviews. Scholes said Rashford should score. It was easy, says Tess. I think he should have put his laces through it. But can you criticise him when he hits the bar? We need to see Ahmad ASAP. I thought I'd clicked the timer. Oh, it's wrong. Sorry. Good shout. We need to score first if we're to have a chance. Oh, God, this is a pain. Come on, get to 43. Oh, I've got to wait 5 seconds now. There we go. We're up and running. Good evening, Mark. Our season has been terrible, says Marlow FC, especially in attack. So the favouritism of Garnacho and Rashford doesn't make any sense. What have Ahmad done to deserve this? I think it's a great point, Marlow. I think it's a very good point because, and the reason I think it's a good point is that you can have favouritism if they're doing well. But you're right, they're not doing well. So why do you keep sticking with them? Mark, with Agate, don't you think... Okay, I've done that one as well. Thank you very much. Right, I think we've caught up now. Thank God for that. Delo is one of my favourites, but he has been off. And Rashi, being the star man, symbolises United. We'll always be a counter-attacking team, says Noda. Thanks everyone who's tuning in on TikTok as well. Tom says, let's pretend that United scored. Thanks for everyone who's given us a follow on TikTok, by the way. I think Agate's got to be so careful now. I mean, Rashford's just on the right wing now. He started the game on the left. They changed about halfway through, and he started this half on the right as well. So it's Garnacho who's got the left-hand side. And look, Garnacho's not had a good game, has he? Maybe it was tactical. Maybe, as somebody said in the first half, maybe they wanted Garnacho on the right to help Delo with Cole Palmer, or the pace of Neto, because Rashford doesn't track back. But then that would not make sense because Gusto was getting beyond him anyway. Edward Winder, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. Thanks for getting your badge in. Niall says Bruno's been sloppy again. That wasn't a bad attempt at a ball by Bruno Fernandes, but it doesn't find its way. I'm definitely having a beer tonight, yeah. Oh, terrible. Who's played that pass there? Is that Delo? That's not acceptable, that. That's a 5-yard pass into the feet of Rasmus and it's over here. Bruno. Casemiro. What is he doing? Yeah, it's funny. A few people have said that, and I would agree that Delo at right back in his best position hasn't been as good as Mazraoui out of position at left back. What's your score prediction? I think we'll either scrap this 1-0. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. I've got to be, but I can't do that. Draw. I'm going to stick with a draw. Yeah. If we score first, I think we'll get a positive result. If they score first, I think they'll win. Can I just remind everybody, though, Man United need to win. Like, even a win doesn't put us in the top half of the table, so we have to win. Simple as that. A draw's not a good result. I don't think anybody walks out of this game as a draw and goes, that's good. Unless you know, maybe Ruud van Nistelrooy would say, well, I'm unbeaten, but good play by Agate, and then he loses it. Casemiro's not strong enough. We just can't get anything going in the midfield here. Noda, thanks for your super chat. We read that, didn't we, about Delo. Here's Neto into Cucurella, and he's given a corner. Don says, Casemiro off now. Mate, we can't take him off. We haven't got anybody on the bench who can play in the midfield. Love the hoodie, Mark, says Ferro. Well, I wish he'd bloody turn up. Just by the way, Christmas jumper. It's in. It's available. It's knitted. It's shipped worldwide. It's very, very nice. There's not that many of them left because we only do a limited run because they're knitted. If you want to get one, it should be pinned in the chat somewhere, or you can go to United Stand Shopify. Get them while we've got them. Corner to Chelsea. I actually think there's been a big improvement with Manchester United in relation to set pieces. Remember, we got a new set piece coach in. We were always conceding chances from corners, but we have been a lot better this season. And that, again, good header away by Casemiro. Niki says, the lack of service into Rasmus tells me there is no trust in him, and Bruno is doing my head in with his lack of discipline. I don't agree with you on that. I don't think it's a lack of... I don't think that even works. I mean, you think about Darwin Nunez, Nicholas Jackson when he wasn't scoring goals. I don't think players won't play it to a striker because they don't trust them. And they'd be idiots because Rasmus's conversion rate is one of the best in the league. The reason they're not giving him service is because they're selfish. It's very rare for wingers to go, I'm not going to do my job because I don't trust the striker. Because if they put a good cross in, they get praised for it. Played better under Erik ten Hag, says Nick. We're missing Mainu, says Ash. Thanks for your super chats. We'll read those out. Put them in through the $sign. Barry McMahon with a super chat says, Rashford must have guaranteed minutes on his contract. It's the only explanation. He brings no intensity whatsoever. And Edward Winder says, legend for pronouncing my name correctly. Most say it like Winder. That alone deserves a fiver. Thanks, pal. It was a lucky guess. I tell you what, I don't think we'll have many Chelsea fans watching, but if you were a Chelsea fan watching this, do you not feel like this might be a little bit of a bad day at the office? I watched you play at Anfield, you lost, but I said, you know, you can come away from that game, you know, happy with yourselves. I don't think you've been very good today in a game where we've not. Oh, look at Rashford. Oh, fucking hell. Neto took. I'll take that. I was very worried there. Neto, watch Cucurella. He leaves him. Look, watch Rashford. Forget it. It's not far off from Neto, but it's just that run from Cucurella. It just leaves him. I don't understand what it is about United that we don't need to track back. What mentality is that? What mentality is that in any player that you don't follow, you don't have to follow, or you don't want to follow your guy? Mo Salah wouldn't do that. It's incredible to me that that's been going on for so long, that we just don't track the runner. We just go, forget it. Forget it. I'm not going to do it. Amazing. And it's not, no, by no means is it just Rashford. It's been happening for years. I don't see any other team doing it. And it amazes me. If our attackers had any chemistry, our midfield wouldn't look as bad, says Darian. Casemiro and Ugarte have not been perfect, but... Hold on, Garnacho into the box. Chelsea will not concede a corner. Casemiro and Ugarte have not been perfect, but both have won the ball high up the pitch with no positive outlets. Bruno and Delo are weakening us, so bad keeping the ball, says Stig. Hope you're doing well, Stig. Rasmus has not had a touch in the Chelsea box, says Arton. Well, he had that shot, but the referee had blown the whistle, hadn't he? So that won't even go down on his stats. It's just it's the lack of work rate that baffles me. Maybe it's a coaching thing. Maybe it's a coaching issue. Maybe we're actually saying don't track the runner back because then we can counter. I mean, we never do it. See, Rashford has tracked back there, but not in time. Delo's got to be careful on a yellow card, of course. Good ball by Casemiro. You know what? I don't understand this. And a lot of you've said it. Daniel, happy birthday today. Always watches the channel. Thank you, Daniel. Mike, JBA, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Don Stapp on TikTok says Casido, man of the match. Do you have any concerns about Amorim being forced to use players? Marcus, if he's forced to use players, he will fail. Like... This is after Ten Hag, and certain players aren't setting the world on fire. If they can't set the world... I can't say this passionately enough. I said it before the game, I said it in the preview, and I'll say it again. If these players can't do it today, when they've got Ten Hag sacked, when are they going to do it? Like, if you're not going to do it on the day, you know, when Ten Hag's been sacked, when are you going to do it? Corner to United. Do you think we'll see Chido or Coney with Amorim, says AJ? I don't know. We'll just have to see. If they're ready, aren't they? But we can't be forcing. We can't be rushing them. Do you think the new system will cover some of the lack of tracking back? Rashford will never play wing back after all, says Patrick. And I think it might be a good idea to move the Christmas sweater a little so that the scoreboard does not cover your sweater. I think that gives it better sales for the channel. It'll be all right, Howder. Don't worry. Oh yeah, it does need to be higher though. No, it won't. I can't hang it anywhere. I can't actually hang it any higher. I don't think it looks right there, but I'll do it. No, it doesn't really work in this scenario. Oliver, I read all the super chats, so unfortunately, your little protest isn't going to work. Is it just me or does Rashford look slower, says Callum? I want to talk about this. I was literally going to say it. A few people over the last couple of months have been saying that Rashford's lost pace. I don't know how you lose pace at 26. But he doesn't look as quick. I'm going to have to take my medicine, which I always will do. If I get something wrong, I will do it. I will admit it. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but I don't think he does look as quick or as explosive. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Mark, I've just fixed the left-back issue. Marcelo is currently a free agent. Here we go, says Dennis. Yazza says, so remember how you said that it had to be tactical for Rashford to not track back? Now with 4 different coaches, Ollie, Rangnick, Ten Hag and Ruud. And we looked best with Rashford on the left at the start, so we switched him to the right, says Brandon. Now we get to see Garnacho be lively instead. Joe J says, Amorim's got one hell of a job on his hand with this bunch, giving us absolutely nothing. Well, you know what? I almost feel apologetic to other people who are watching this game on a Sunday afternoon. It's autumnal in the UK. You know, the nights are drawing in. It's Super Sunday game at 4:30. I don't think it will have lived up to expectations of anybody so far. Yeah, I don't know. Look, maybe I've resisted the lack of pace thing. Corner to Chelsea, headed away by Delo. We're doing a lot better on set pieces. Here we go. I think he's offside. I think Garnacho's offside. He's kept it in and he's offside. Fuck, we'd have been away there. Hi, Mark. How come you don't call out Rashford in the same way you do Casemiro when Rashford is arguably one of the most ineffective players in the Prem? I don't know what channel you've just landed on, GK. I mean, in certain quarters, apparently I never shut up doing it. It has been a crap game, says Dale Elder. Well, I said this a few minutes ago, didn't I? I don't know whether we've got any Chelsea fans watching, but if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be saying we haven't played well. And if we'd played well, I don't think Man United... Look, honestly, I'd love to say it's because of United that Chelsea have struggled. We've really suffocated them. But it isn't because of that. Chelsea haven't played well because they've had a bad day. I think if Chelsea could... I think Chelsea have just had a bad day at the office, and that's probably to our detriment. Opinions on Liverpool being top of the league, says Ethan. I think it's a weird league at the moment, you know. I do. I think Liverpool are there on merit, but it's a weird league. Man City don't look good this year. Arsenal don't look good this year. Liverpool at times have looked a bit shaky, but are the best team at getting results. You've got teams like Brentford, Brighton playing really well. Another offside. We don't play the ball quick enough. Not playing the ball quick enough. I think Casemiro again can play this first time. Takes too long. He could have played that half a second quicker. Evening Bridge, Meister General, says Tom, I love the look and aura of Almiron, but wow, this task on his hands is monumental. Absolutely on its knees, this club. Thank you, Tam. Appreciate that. Send Marcus to Belfast, says Dimitri. Stig says, I'm doing well, Mark. Thanks. Hope you're doing well also, but I feel bad for Amorim. He wants to take total control and play like a team, but he's got so many egos here. Well done, Mazraoui again. Got to make some subs here, hasn't he? But the bench is just so weak. I'd worry about bringing Xerxes on. He hasn't got the legs. Not quick enough up front. Okay, we're all out of position again. Rashford's not tracked back. Cucurella. I mean, Cucurella's getting the freedom of the fucking Old Trafford here. Always say it how it is, Mark. Love the channel, says Sam. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Tusha says, from promising to now very disappointing, Garnacho has completely stopped improving. Can't get Amorim in soon enough. Rashford fell into a cycle of doesn't matter how good I do, we are crap. It doesn't matter how bad I do, we still crap, and I still get paid. So why even bother, says Kakan. What do you reckon on the score? Will we win? Says JJ. Well, here we go. Bit of a chance. 3v3. It's with Bruno. He's got to dink it to the back post. Cut it back. Corey says, Rasmus is a development player. We need ready-made. I mean, I can't argue with this. Bruno doesn't do anything wrong. Garnacho's connection. It's one of them days. This is where you make subs. I think you make subs. Chelsea aren't playing that well. Make some subs. I'll tell you what, I'm going to say it. I never said I was going to say this. I've been very stubborn about it, and I feel bad for doing it. And I feel I've got to say it. Ten Hag out. He's got to go. I've had enough. Ten Hag's got to go. I'm seeing no change from last week against West Ham. He's got to go. It's just not good enough. Same thing every week. Do you think Sancho and Shaw are playing COD at the moment? It seems strange that Sancho is ill over 2 XP weekends. Also, did you see Sir Jim's interview? I did, Pokey. Remember, Sancho can't play today anyway. Casemiro brings it forward to Rashford. A foul. Rashford showing a bit of passion. He's going to get booked. I did think it was a foul on us. I thought it was a foul on Rashford, to be fair. I mean, I don't know how this is a foul against him. How the fuck is that a foul by Rashford? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Too slow with the Bruno passing. Get him out, says Narnbread. There's nothing special about Rashford, says William Shakespeare. He is just bang average. Another overhyped player, says William. Well, he's been booked there, and I don't even know what he did wrong. A lot of people saying we need to take a lot of players off. The bench is shit, lads and ladies. You can talk about substitutions, and you're probably not wrong, but... we don't really have a lot on the bench. We've got 4 youngsters on the bench in Wheatley, Fitzgerald, Fletcher. Oh, penalty. He's given it! Penalty to Manchester United! Sanchez says he got the ball. Rasmus has won the penalty. He screams with passion at the Stretford end. And I think he did get the ball, but I'll take the penalty. They're going to go VAR. I don't think Sanchez looks convinced. I think this is a penalty. I do. I really do. Let's have a look. Ball over the top by Casemiro. It's a lovely ball by Casemiro. He's got that in his locker. Pinpoint. Rasmus controls it. Nah, that's a penalty. He doesn't touch the ball. He doesn't touch the ball. Does he touch the player? You can't overrule the ref. You can't overrule the ref. Yeah, takes his foot. Penalty. Yeah, lovely stuff. 100%. 100%. Takes his foot. Crap goalkeeping because Rasmus ain't doing anything from there. So here we go. Bruno Fernandes. 3 point. Well, no. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. We're not getting 3 points here. Bruno Fernandes steps up. You can say what you like about Bruno Fernandes, but maybe he's not playing well, but he does care about the football club. He does care about Manchester United, and it's a penalty for Bruno. I'm not jinxing anything. It's got to go in, of course. Definite penalty. Could have killed Rasmus. Bruno steps up. And it's 1-0 to Manchester United. Bruno runs to the Stretford end. Look at the passion of Bruno Fernandes there. You can say what you like about Bruno, but that guy loves this football club. He'd run into a burning building and say Voldemort if he had a Man United shirt on. Absolutely loves the football club. You can see the passion there. It's not been great by Manchester United, but we lead with 20 minutes to go. It's, you know what? I've got to be absolutely honest. The way those players are celebrating, you can see how happy they are. If only they knew how bad they were. Like, we've not played well at all. But then again, neither have Chelsea. So we can't feel guilty about getting the opportunity to take 3 massive points. But I'll be honest, you know, we haven't played well. I said this at half time. It's scrappy. It's scrappy. But what do you expect? What do you expect? Always rated this referee, says Dave. Fuming not getting his 4-1, says Joe Wright. Rasmus is way more developed than Garnacho. Don't judge him based on not finishing chances that aren't even being created, says Chiku. Send Rashford to the Night's Watch to deal with the White Walkers because he can't deal with that ball, says Andres. And when do you think they'll put Rashi into the game, says George. Too slow with the passing. We've done that one as well. It's a penalty for me. It's a penalty. Chelsea have only got themselves to blame. Madueke and Lavia go off, and Mudryk and Enzo Fernandez come on. Now is the time for subs, says Dean. We haven't really got any. We haven't really got any subs, mate. But I've said it all game, you know. As much as we've not been great, Chelsea have been really bad. Ahmad's coming on and Rashford's coming off. Mark, hope you're well. I honestly think there is a style of play that can be seen in brief intervals throughout some games. I think some or most of these players just lack the skills to pull it off, says Dakota. Rashford comes off. Ahmad comes on. "20 minutes. Need the win now." Bit fortunate with the penalty. It was a penalty. These are things... Chelsea have only got themselves to blame. They've only got themselves to blame. They're a better team than this, Chelsea. I've been quite surprised at how bad they've been. So, defensively, we've been good. We've not given them a sniff, really. Going back to that instant subbing of Lindelof, I really hope that'll be part of Amarim's MO. I would have subbed Garnacho for that connection, says Kenneth. Thanks for your super chats, Kenneth and Dakota. Appreciate that. Wow, a bit of excitement in a game that's been a little bit drab. United not played brilliantly, but people need a reality check as to how crap we've been this season. Especially, I see improvement, especially defensively, says United 85. Neto. Agate, got to be careful. Don't put the tackle in. I can't believe people are saying never a penalty. I mean, it's just so obviously a penalty when you watch it back. Fair play to the referee for getting it or guessing it. But when you watch it back, Sanchez, I'm sorry, any Chelsea fan worth their soul is going to say, what the fuck is our goalkeeper doing there? It's going nowhere near the goal. And, oh my Christ. I'm on my knees, brother! I'm on my bloody knees! Where's that come from? Where the fucking hell has that come from? It's an absolute fucking banger. I can't believe it. I can't fucking believe it, mate. We don't deserve that. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, he's just hit it on the volley on the edge of the box in the bottom corner. You're not stopping that. You can't do anything about it. Casemiro heads it away. He's on the edge of the box. He's volleyed it right in the bottom corner. Fucking hell. Well, somebody said on TikTok, man of the match for Chelsea is Conceding. Well, he's living up to that vibe now. Oh, for fuck's... I mean, that's just... We get a scrappy penalty and we're celebrating like mad. They just go and equalise straight away with a worldie. I told you Chelsea haven't played well. They've got gears, we haven't. Well, the game might open up now. What's your grooming technique, says Jack. I'll do a video on it. Very worried about potential Agate second yellow card, says Tom. Rude Van Destroy, says Jersey. Swings and roundabouts. We got scammed at West Ham, says Cam. Oh my God, Chelsea nearly scored again. Wake the fuck up! We've scored a penalty and we've gone to bloody bed. Who's been dishing out the bloody Ovaltine and the slippers? What's going on? We've been defending really well until we score, and then we score, and it's the same old shit again, isn't it? We score a goal and we go in front and we absolutely shit ourselves. I'm speechless here at the moment. I can't believe Casido's just scored that bloody goal. Yeah, nothing I can moan about, really. I mean, it's just, Casemiro heads it away well and he just smacks the shit out of it. You can't... Sometimes goals will be scored and no one will be to blame. You can't say anything about it. If you're a Chelsea fan, you're like, perfect way to get back in the game. A blockbuster. Oh, I don't think Chelsea have played well, though, and I think they're better than him. It was a nice 5 minutes, says William. Have some of that, Mark, says Just Sport Edits. We need to win this game, though. We need to win. Alex says, I'm tired of the Neville commentary. You get more positive comments when Carricker commentates a United game. Mate, I said this the other day on the podcast, and I'll say it on here in front of 66,000 people. These ex-United players are damaging Manchester United. I grew up in the mid-90s when Liverpool had been good in the 80s. They had Alan Hansen and Mark Lawrenson as ex-Liverpool greats moaning about Liverpool all the fucking time. And Liverpool stayed shit. And that's all we get with our ex-players as well. Moan, fucking moan, moan, moan. And the reason they moan is because they want to maintain their greatness. It was the same with those ex-Liverpool players. They don't actually help because they're always fucking moaning. Casemiro didn't play for Ten Hag, that's for sure, says Joseph. Tusha says, I think there might be another defeat loading here. Got a corner. We need to fucking win. We need our worldie. Where's our worldie? Come on, Bruno. Oh, that keeper's shit as well. Throwing more punches than Tyson Fury. Which way is it going to go, people? I think if Chelsea wake up, they'll win it. I don't know whether United have got... you know, that's why the goal was so good, because I just don't think we've... I don't think we've operated at a very good level today. Well, we've operated at our level. Tejaz says, take Agate off before he gets sent off. Is Ahmad nearly trying to get Bruno in? I mean, look, we've spoken about Garnacho. We've spoken about Rashford. We've spoken about Rasmus. Can we speak about Bruno? I mean, what has Bruno had a good game, or are we just not talking about it anymore? Take Agate off and put Fitzgerald on, says it's Cyan. Lovely run by Ahmad. Fucking hell. 10 to go. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 2 million. Get involved with the United Stand. We've got player ratings show straight after this. Then we're in the studio for the fan forum. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. You can do that through the player ratings link in the video description. Personally, I'm not too sure anybody's done anything to dislodge Mazraoui. But that's my thought. Garnacho should be benched. He's got no end product and he's too young to be starting every game, says Jack. I just want to win the game, Jack. We can talk about individuals, or you can talk about them now. I just want Man United to win this game. I just can't believe we've scraped a penalty and then conceded a worldie within minutes. Rohil says, has Rude made any subs other than Ahmad? No. Vitor wants to talk about Garnacho before talking about Bruno. I think we've seen 70 minutes of talking about Garnacho, to be honest with you. A 20-year-old with potential over a 30-year-old captain on 300k a week. Well done. I think De Ligt's had a good game. I don't think De Ligt's put a foot wrong, has he? I know he slipped a minute ago. Oh, here we go. Cole Palmer, he's been quiet. Into Neto. Little dink cross. There are 3 on the back post. Pass it. Pass it. That's it. Good ball by Delo into Bruno. And then Bruno into Mazraoui. Pass it. I can't believe that Chelsea have. Well, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Here's Mudryk. Good tackle by Casemiro. Had to be. Come on, come on. Goldbridge, let's just say it. Garnacho's been poor. He missed a lot. It's no longer about being young. Foden wouldn't miss those. Mate, look, if you want to hate on 20-year-olds who are coming through our youth team, you crack on. I have a different mentality around that. Marcus Rashford's 27. Bruno Fernandes is 30. They've had their years of development and they've had their support. If you don't want to support 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds at Man United, then that's up to you. Many of you don't. If that's what you think this club's all about, that's up to you. But you're not going to get me doing it because I just don't think that's the way to be. He's not played well today. I accept it. Couple of subs here. Agate's off for Lindelof and Xerxes on for Rasmus. We need to win this game, people. Somehow we need to win this game. Here's Xerxes. Could he have a glow up? Oh, here's Garnacho. Could have played Mazraoui in. Should have played Mazraoui in. And now Mazraoui is out of position. Casemiro fouls him. And Casemiro will be booked. Yellow card. Ahmad says, I think Shaw would thrive the way we're playing. You got to get him fit first, mate. Casemiro booked. That's his first booking of the season, apparently. Reece James. Five minutes to go. Cole Palmer's been quiet. What? Why? Why? The jinx only works with your own players. Lindelof's playing in midfield, Daryl, yes. Garnacho and Bruno have been tough to watch today, holding on to the ball for too long. 58 Go says Garnacho's trying to get a 0 rating. Mate, come on. 0 rating. We're meant to be an educated fan community that's taking on the mainstream. You can have a bad performance, but 0 out of 10. Fucking hell. Whose house has he burgled? Garnacho and Bruno have been tough to watch, says Reese. Thank you. I can't see us winning this. Mudryk. Bruno defend. We're just defending now. Oh, fucking hell. Another set piece. Well, we've defended well from those so far, although it did come from a set piece. Keep the shape. Keep the fucking shape. Mudryk. Oh, here we go. Overlap Cole Palmer. Bloody good play by Onana there. I'm just looking at the stats. Well, it's hard to say who comes out of this with United. It's crap for United. Like, we're on 12 points and we're still in the bottom half of the table, miles off everybody else. Chelsea, I think we'll have to just chalk it down as a bad day at the office. Maybe it's a better draw for Chelsea. I don't know, is the honest answer. Unless we can find a winner, I'm very disappointed because, we sacked a manager a week ago and we've just seen a very similar performance again. So, yeah, manager's gone. Many people would probably agree with that. Oh, not far over from Garnacho there. Yeah, manager's gone, but very similar performance. Same old story for me. Same old United. Wasn't far off by Garnacho, but never really felt it was going to go in, if I'm being honest. Just disappointed, really. Feel so flat after that penalty. You just felt that was going to be the moment. But here could be the moment. Garnacho into Bruno. Dive. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate. What sort of wanky, shitty bastard shot is that? It's fell for him on the edge of the box, on the volley, and he's hit the bloody ceiling. Maybe I'm being unfair. No, I'm not. Fucking hell. Bloody, I'm not being unfair at all. I'm not being unfair at all. Same old. I mean, it's the same old United. It's the same old United. We score a few goals against Leicester and we're back. We're not fucking back. It's the same old shit. Eight minutes, 4 minutes added on. Sorry, fucking hell. God, I'm actually glad there's only 4. I can't see us scoring. Don't forget to do your player ratings, by the way. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the Bruno should have hit that on target. This Garnacho performance has been a long time coming. He's been poor the whole season. Suspect he's been burning out and he needs a break, says Carl. Joshua Xerxes assist winner loading, says Zico. I hope, mate. Hope so, mate. With Arsenal and Man City dropping points, are you happy with the draw, says Constantine? Since when has Arsenal and Man City been relevant to the same sentence of Man United? Oh, we've made a point up on Arsenal and Man City. Those days have been fucking gone for 20 years, or 10 years, mate. We're not looking at Arsenal and Man City. We're looking at Brentford and Fulham. Red Devil wants to give a leather belt treatment to Garnacho. I don't know. That's a bit kinky. Here is Garnacho. Overhit the cross. But United have still got it. I mean, look, we are pushing. Chelsea haven't played well. I mean, look, maybe we can win this. We have defended well. Recruit over Bruno, Rashford, Bruno and every forward, says Corey Lineker. Sell Bruno now. This is crazy, says Mitcha. I mean, my honest question to you is, have you enjoyed this game? Do you think you've seen anything in this game that makes you think United are going to, you know... Obviously, Amorim, his job is massive, but I expected to see... I'm actually quite surprised. I expected to see it's not our fault performance. I expected to see the bounce, and again, you could have put Ten Hag in charge for me. And I think it's been a very Ten Hag-like performance. Martinez is going to get a yellow. Chelsea look tired to me, says SK. Garnacho and Bruno, I don't need Hollywood goals, get out, says Chiku. Martinez is going to be booked. Oh, a bit of something going on here between players. Don't really know what that's all about. I think Martinez might be getting a red card. But is that not the same as Bruno again? Is that not a slip? Is that not very much the same? Nah, it's not a red card. I mean, look, it is a bad tackle, but I don't think it's a red card because I think it's a slip again. It's the same as Bruno. His foot goes, his left foot goes. So if they give him a red card for that, they're just making the same mistake as Bruno, aren't they? So no, they're not going to give it. It was a bad tackle, but I think in the context of the way they explained the Bruno one, it would have been a. That's a red, knee high, says Joe. Yeah, but his left foot goes. We need another striker, says George. Don't think Xerxes is that man. You've got to be braver than Ten Hag, but he wasn't Van Nistelrooy, says George. And somebody just made a point here. I don't know what the context is, but it's a big statement from Scandinavian 88. He says, "It hurts to say this, but I honestly believe we have the most toxic fan base in today's football." Oh, the way people hate on players is incredible. You know, Ten Hag's gone and it still continues. Like, I don't think people understand that it's damaging. But it's not a good point for Man United. I mean, it's a good point for Ruud and his record, but it's not a good point for United. We need to be winning these games. We're miles behind. Here's Garnacho. Can we get a little bit late? What is Gary Neville begging for a red? Right, I'll tweet about that. Retweet it, everyone. Kenneth says, Neville says red. Well, I've tweeted about it. I mean, I don't know what his problem is. He seems to have a problem with Man United, and I don't know what his problem is. But if he listened to Howard Webb when he had him on the show, instead of thinking he invented dipping biscuits into tea, he'd know that Howard Webb said that Bruno's tackle, which was very similar, wasn't a red card because of the slip. And it's virtually identical. It is high. It is on his knee. But he slips into the tackle. So it's not a red. Simple as that. Anyway, that's the end of the game. Make sure you do your player ratings. I've got a lot I want to say about this because I just think that you have to look at players here and go, you ain't good enough, are you? You know, managers sat. If I was Erik Ten Hag and I'd watch that, I'd be going, well, what do you expect? It's nothing to do with me. They still do the same things. They still hit Hollywood passes. They still run into bloody blind alleys. They still don't track runners. Yeah. Interesting. Thanks everyone who's watched today. Make sure you subscribe on your way out. Oh, get over to the match reaction. I'll be there in a minute. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Link is in the description. I'll see you over there.